we're going to start, and the class of today is a review of the class that we gave last week. I gave you the different rules, and I left the homework, I believe. Okay, give me a second here. Let me check. Let me check so you can see. We go here. Let me see. Okay, so let me see if it is here. All right. So you see, this was that was an assignment that I left there. This is new. That one is new. This I did this yesterday, and look, whenever you have an assignment or a homework to do, you always have to go to the details and check the date. Like, as you see, I posted the assignment yesterday, but you have until the 19th, so you can upload the homework there. This homework is new. This is from the book. This is from lesson 1 and lesson 2. I gave you like 7 questions. You look for the answers, you fill up the answers, and you upload it back to the platform. That's the homework. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to content. This is what we have for this week. Now, although it says here that this is 8 to the 13th, I know today is the 13th. So remember, just go into the assignment and make sure that you see the dates that you have to upload it. Here on this week, we had this exercise. Now this exercise, I haven't corrected it yet. I haven't corrected it. I'm going to correct it from tomorrow on, because what I do is that I give you a homework. I give you 7 days, 1 week for you to do it. And after the 7 days, I start correcting. You know, so this is for me to have time to correct, and in the meantime, that you work with other subjects, not other subjects, other homeworks. Now, if you notice here, this exercise from the little page that I left with the rules, we have Veronica and we all have Obania who haven't done it. So make sure you do it. Make sure you do homework when I leave it, because if you don't do it, then you're gonna lose points. That was supposed to be corrected on the 6th. I'll finish on the 6th. I'm going to correct it from tomorrow on. So let me go back. And that said, I wanted to explain to you that you have to be careful with the dates. It doesn't matter if we are on the 8th or the 13th. If you see something in there, an assignment, make sure you go in and check when you have to deliver it or you have to submit it. If let me just get out of there. Do you have any questions so far? I guess Virginia unmuted her microphone. Do you want to say something, Virginia? No? Okay, good. All right. Now let me present this to you. And I worked with the little logo OEM and the flags. So it says Tuesday there, you know, that was a little mistake that I made because it was Saturdays. Let me change it. Hold on here. Saturdays. I know you cannot see it, but you'll see it now. Hold on. I'm sorry. So here it is. Here we are. Okay, so today we'll touch the topic rules. These are the rules that I left on the platform. And these are the rules that I wanted to review. I know that you already studied that, but I just want to make sure that we go over it and we cover certain aspects. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. So here we go. We have homophones, homographs, consonant blend, and consonant digraph. Let's go first with homophones, right? These are the rules that we're going to review very quickly. You have these in the document that I left the first week. So the video, we're gonna upload it. So if you feel that I'm going too fast, you will be able to rewatch this. So let's go first with homophones. Did you read what homophones are? Did any one of you had the chance to go and see it?
Me, teacher.
All right. And do you know what a homophone is?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Can I say?
Yes.
Okay. Are words that sound like a but have different meaning, usually different speed.
All right. Very good. Yeah. So yes, that's you, Milagro, right?
Yes, teacher.
All right. So a homophone, right? Let's go here. Hold on. Um, Homophones, right? Let's go here. So homophones are, as Milagro says, is a word that sounds the same, right? It has the same sound because that's what homo means. Homo means the same and phone means sound. So homophone, the same sound. So we have three examples here. We have C and C. When you pronounce the words, is the same. Although when you write it, it's different. So this is what we call homophone. We also have the word B and B. There is no difference. It's the same word, but same, when I say the same word, I mean the same pronunciation, but it has a different meaning. Then I have another one. This one has the same sound in three different occasions, but it has different meanings. You have two, two, and two, like 1, 2, 3, and I like it too, and to go, to be, to sleep, to you. You see, it's the same sound, but it has different meanings and different writings. That's what we have. Then we continue with homographs. So homo means the same, graph means writing. So homographs mean same writing. These are words that have the same spelling, but they have different pronunciation and different meanings. If you go here on the first one, this, you will think about time, like past, future, and present, right? But what about when you want to introduce yourself to someone? When you want to introduce someone to another person, you say, I want to present Alberto to you, right? So it's the same word as present, but it has a different, it's the same spelling, but a different pronunciation, and that's why it has a different meaning. We also have the second word, which is record. Record is something that you do that nobody has done before, right? That's a record. But what about if I want to capture the images on a video with my camera? How do I call that? Record, right? Record. I am recording. So basically it's the same word, same writing, different pronunciation, and different meaning. We have the last one, which is, I know some of you say already leave. I leave, you leave, she leaves, and everybody lives. But there is another one, life. And not life like my life is mine. We're talking about when you are in an event and in a real-time event, like if you go on Facebook and you want to do a transmission, you are live. So basically that's the same meaning. Not the same meaning, sorry, it's the same word, but with a different meaning and a different pronunciation. That's it for the homographs, homophones. We have consonant blend and we have consonant digraph. If I am going too fast, let me know. Remember that this is only a review because I gave you the document, I gave you the file, the information. So your job was to read it, and I'm just refreshing this very quick. If you have a question, you can raise your hand and you can ask, and I'll be here to answer. So here we have consonant blend. And I have a question for you. What is a consonant? Do you guys know? If you know, raise your hand and let me know. When I say raise your hand, maybe some of you don't know that here on Zoom, okay, Milagro knows. Here on Zoom, we have the ability to raise our hands. If you click where it says participants, you click there and you look for your name, you will see that in the options, you have raise your hand. So there you can do it. All right, Milagro, can you tell us what a consonant is?
The consonant are the remaining letter. I think it's like that.
Okay, the remaining letters of
Yes.
what? Of the alphabet?
Yes.
Okay, the point is that in the alphabet, we have two types of letters. We have the vowels, right? And later we'll see the vowels, but we also have the consonants. So any letter that is not a vowel is a consonant logically, right? So that's why Milagro says that consonants are the remaining letters of the alphabet that are not vowels. So here we are in consonant blend. What is a consonant blend? When you have two consonants together in a word or syllable, and each one of the consonants has a sound that you need to produce or you need to hear the sound. For example, we have the word right. If you notice, we have two consonants together. We have W and we have R. And each one of the consonants make a sound. Why? When you speak, I mean. Why? Because if you, for example, forget the letter R, then you don't say right. You say white, which means that the letter R is important in the sentence. But let's continue with this one. Look at this. This one is dangerous. You have three consonants together. And let me tell you, the majority of consonant blend, the consonant blend is important before the vowel. The consonant blend that is before the vowel, not after. Because if you notice here, we have spring, but let's do this. Imagine that you forget to produce the sound for the S. You will say pring. But what about if you forget the sound for the P? You will say shrink. But if you forget the R, you will say sping. So basically, when you speak, you need to produce each one of those sounds in there. And that's what we call consonant blend. You have a third example, a black. Imagine that you forget the L, then you will say back. But what about if you forget the B? You will say lack. So basically, black, you need both sounds from B and from L to have a complete word that would make sense. And then we'll finish with consonant digraph. Consonant digraph is the opposite of consonant blend, which means that in consonant D graph, you have two consonants together, but the two consonants only make one sound. What, for example, look, you say white, white, right? So the W and the H has only woo, white, right? Then we have church, ch, ch. The CH is only one sound, ch. You see the two of them together. And then we have pack. So the CK together is only one sound. And you say, okay, but I can do that here on black. I can do it, teacher, on black. Oh, okay, I'm going to tell you then, can you combine the two sounds of BL together? That would be the question. You cannot do it. You have to say, b, b. You see? You cannot do it like, ch, k, ooh. Those are only one sound, but here it's impossible to do it. And that's it. That's those are consonant digraph, consonant blend, homophones, and homographs. Do you have any questions so far that I could answer before we go to the next page? No questions? Okay, well, we'll continue. Remember that if you want to say something, you have to unmute your microphone, because if you start talking, we won't be able to listen to you. So here we go to the next one. Oops, where is my mouse? Okay, here we are. Syllables and vowels. Syllable, syllable. As you can see in the button here, look here. A syllable is a part of a word. That's a syllable. Now, that's very easy. So vowels, the vowels, that word is difficult in English because we don't see it so often. So vowel are the letters of the alphabet that are not consonants. In Spanish, we have these 5 vowels, and this is A, E, I, O, U. Listen again. A, E, I, O, U. So these are the 5, in English we have more vowels. So I'm gonna call it the regular vowels. These are the 5 regular vowels. These are the letters that we use to create words, as you know. Now, if you notice, I have to tell you that here it says long sound, short sound. You see, long sound, short sound for the vowels. The point is that in English, vowels have more than one sound. They have a long sound and they have a short sound. Allow me a moment. There, go there. No. You go to your room and you do it there. I'm fighting with Olivia, my daughter. She wants to turn on the TV and I'm telling her to go to her room. She doesn't want. All right. Okay, so I was on long sound, short sound. Look, I gave you the long sound already. The long sound for the vowels are the letter sound. Which is the letter sound for this? Look, I'm sorry. Which is the long sound for this? For the first one is A. The second one is E. The third one is I. O and U. Those are the long sounds. So the long sounds, we know them because that's the way we learn the letter sound. Now, what about the short sound? And the short sound is what makes English difficult, because in Spanish, A is A, E is E, and O is O. But in English, when you say O, you can have another sound for that one. So let's go. Let's see. Let's discover the short sound for the vowels. Now, in order to discover the short sound, we have to go to a rule that is called the short vowel rule. Okay, this is a rule that you have it in the material. This material that I'm explaining is on the platform in the rules. So, short vowel rule. Okay, what does it say? Remember that phonetics is about sounds, about pronunciation. We are learning how to read. We are learning how to pronounce the words, how to say the sounds correctly. So the short vowel rule says that it's actually divided into two parts, as you can see here. Look, let's go one by one. It says, when you have a vowel, do you remember vowels? You see? When you have a vowel that comes at the beginning of a word or syllable, it has the short sound, right? Okay, so imagine you see one word, any word in English, you see it, and you see that at the beginning of the word, you have a vowel. It starts with a vowel. Well, that vowel has the short sound. And let's see the examples. Look at the first square here. Look, we have is, right? So look, let's go back. Pay attention to this. The letter sound for this one is I, right? I. But here, when it is at the beginning, you don't say I, because if you say ice, you're talking about ice cream or water that is solid, that is called ice. So you don't want to make that phonetical confusion. That's why it says is. That's why you say it like that, to avoid confusion with the other words. So when it is at the beginning of the word, it has a short sound. So for the short sound for I is E, because you say is. Then we have another example. Look, here, the long sound for that vowel here, look at the mouse, the pointer. The short sound for this, okay, let me see if I have the, hold on. Let me see. Okay. Oh, no red. I don't want red. Blue is better. Okay. Look at this. Now I like it. All right, look. The long sound for that vowel is A. But you don't say aim, because if you say aim, you're talking about when you want to shoot a person, when you are looking for something to shoot. That's when you are aiming, right? That's right. You avoid to say aim and you say because the short sound for A is That's why you say I am. Then we have un. The long sound for this one, hold on. The long sound for this one, look for that one, is O. But you don't say own, because if you say own, you know what happens? You are creating confusion with another word, which is this word. Look, own. You see? Own. Like, I own that. Like, that's mine. I own it. That's why you say on. So the short sound for O is on you, That's right. And these are the ones that I wanted to tell you. You see, you want to avoid confusion with these words. Look, aim, you see, own, and you avoid confusion with that, with eyes, right? So that's right. Okay, now that is the first part. When at the beginning of a word or syllable, you have a vowel, it goes with a short sound. Now, what happens with the second one? If a vowel is in the middle of two consonants, it has the short sound. Whenever it is between two consonants, it goes with a short sound. For example, look, here we have fox, fox. You don't say folks, you say fox, because the short sound for O is fox, right? Okay, now see the second one. You have a vowel and you have it between two consonants. So that means that you don't say bead, all of you say bad, because the short sound for E is E. So bad. That's the point. Now the last vowel, the last one, we have the long sound, which is U. The long sound is U. And if you pronounce the first word here, this one, you say put. So the sound for that letter there, for the vowel, is U. So U as in put. That one, that's one sound for that one. This vowel is special because it has two short sounds. See the second word, see this word, the second one. You don't say boot nor butte, you say bat, bat, right? So this one has two sounds. It has U as in put, and it has as in but. So those are the short sounds. The majority of you know the short sounds because you know how to say the words. The point is that you didn't know that there was a rule that said that when a vowel is between two consonants, it has a short sound, and when it is at the beginning, it has a short sound too. So whenever a person tells you, teacher, why do you say and no aim? You say, listen, there is a rule that says that when the vowel is at the beginning, it has a short sound. And the short sound for A is A. That's why you say And that's it, you kill it. Yeah. Any questions so far? That was the short vowel rule. Okay, if you have questions, you can ask me. I'm gonna continue. So hold on. We are going to continue here, and you saw that we have a short vowel rule, and if we have a short vowel rule, we also have a long vowel rule, and we have two of them. We have long vowel rule number 1, and this one is very interesting. For example, it says that if there is something missing there. Hold on. If there are a missing R in there. Wait, no mistakes. Hold on. Now it's good. Yeah, I lost this. Here we are again. Okay. Sorry, that was a little mistake there with, I was missing R. Okay, so if there are two vowels in a word or syllable, you see, it says in a word or syllable. If you have two vowels, the first one sounds and the second one doesn't sound. Okay, so let's see this here. You have the long vowel rule. You know that we're working with the long sound. And if you have two vowels together, the first one doesn't sound and the second one has the long sound. So let's try this here. Let's try this, and I'm gonna get the red one. Let me see if this worked. Oh no, that was on blue. Hold on. Yeah, I'm getting used to this. I'm getting used to the to the whiteboard because I use another one. So that's right, I'm trying. Okay, anyways, so here we go. Here we are. We have different examples, and I'm going to focus on this, this, and this two, because this one is the same as the other. So I'm focusing on those four. Okay, let's follow the rule. It says, when you have two vowels together, the first one has a long sound and the second one is mute. Mute means that silent, nothing. So we have this word, see, right? When we went to school, English school, we learned that when you have two E's together, it sounds E. That's not true. The point is that the first one has a long sound, which is E, right? E. And the second one is mute. So let's imagine, this is imaginary because writtenly it is there. Imagine that this vowel doesn't exist phonetically speaking, because written is there. So this is E. And if you combine S with E, you say C, right? So that's it. That's the word, C. The same thing happened in the second one. We have two vowels, right? Together. Together doesn't mean that they have to be right together. Together means that they are in the same word or in the same syllable. Here we have wait, wait. This second vowel doesn't sound. That is only there for writing purposes. It doesn't sound. This is A, right? The long sound is A. So you say wait when you do the combination. Now, I told you that the vowels don't need to be together right after the other because look at this example. We have here vowel, we have consonant, and we have vowel, right? But they are in the same word, the same syllable. So this one is the one that sounds A, but this one doesn't sound. So this is A, and when you combine it with T and K, that's take. So the letter E doesn't sound over there. The same thing happens with this word, with mute. Mute, look, U, the long sound, right? And the second one is silent. So M-U-T sounds mute. That's the point. And the last one follows the same case. You have two vowels together. The first one sounds, the second one doesn't sound. So this is A, and the combination of letter is train because this is A. Don't believe that this letter is doing anything there phonetically. No, nothing. This is A, ain, train. That's the point. Oh, I'm sorry for the scratches and things on the board, but I had to do it like that so you can understand. Okay. Listen, if you have a question, you can ask. I'm going to continue talking. We're going to go to another rule now. So if you have questions or doubts about this one, you can ask me. That I'm going to answer for you. Natividad, yes?
Yes, I'm a little confused because the rules say if there are two vowels, it's a word or syllable, the first has a long sound. But I saw two different words, they just have one.
Okay. Which one?
I'm a little confused. Mute and take.
Okay. What do you say that they have only one vowel?
Yeah, I saw, okay. I'm confused because I thought they should be the two vowels together or not.
They are together.
Mute.
Yes, mute and take are together. Let me tell.
Okay, okay, then that means the sounds, not the writing.
Well, yes, the sound, because look, in
Okay.
English, for example, in English, the syllables are vowel sounds. This might sound confusing, but if you want to know, I want you to take your fingers, look, your fingers, and I'm going to say a word. I'm going to say a word, and you're gonna count the number of sounds that you listen, right? Let me say the
Yeah.
word now and count. C. How many sounds did you count? C.
C.
Yes.
C. One.
One,
C.
right? Because you say C, you see? C,
Yeah.
that's one. Wait is another. Wait.
Yeah.
Take is another. Mute is another.
Okay.
Train is another. But let me give you another word, and you're gonna tell me how many times you count. English. English. How many sounds do you have there? English.
English.
Yes.
Two.
Two, right? So
Yeah.
that one has two syllables, and the previous ones that we say have one syllable. That's why I tell you that the vowels are together. Together is that they are in the same syllable.
Okay.
Yes, because in
Yeah,
English,
now I'm clear.
yeah, because in English, you divide the syllables by sounds. It's not like in Spanish. In Spanish,
Exactly.
for example, if you take this word, in Spanish, it has two syllables because this, look, syllable one and syllable two. But in English, it's not like that. All right, so let's continue then. We almost finished here. Almost. We almost finished. Uh, okay. We have the long vowel rule number 2. This is the one. This is the easiest. Look, whenever you have a vowel at the at the end of a word or at the end of a syllable, it has the long sound. It has the long sound. For example, you have B. B is one syllable, one word, and it has the long sound. You don't say be, you say B-E, right? Then we have she, you have he, and we have go. You see? You don't say ga, you say go, because that vowel has the long sound. Now you also have hi. You don't say he, you say hi, because the vowel is at the end of the word or the syllable. Now I say word and syllable, I can repeat it this, and this is because, as you know, there are words that have only one syllable, and this is what we call monosyllable words, right? But we have one word in here which is not, um, which has two syllables. We have pony. If you say pony, pony, it has two syllables. Now, don't pay attention to that word, because what I want you to do is, this is a little personal homework for you. If you didn't read it, you have to go to the Y rule. The Y rule, that you have it in the document that I left there for you. Because Y and W, they become vowels sometimes. And Y also sounds E and I, depending on the formation of the word. So this word sounds pony. This is a pony, right? You know what a pony is? A little horse, small horse, sorry, pony. So this word has two syllables. Po, look at this, look. Po, you see why it sounds po? Not pony, pony. Because this is a syllable and it has the O at the end, and that's right, that one has a long sound, pony, right? So that's right. Don't pay attention to this because this is the Y rule. That's the Y rule. Pay attention only to this part, which is a syllable, right? Okay, so I'm going to continue to the next one, but I want you to check this on the board right now. Check this, check. We have here many words. We have when. When, it sounds because you have two consonants covering the vowel. The vowel is between two consonants. The E in here, look, the E in here, that one, you see? That's between two consonants. It has H and it has N. So that's why it sounds when, right? Look at this one, look. We have sa, consonant. Look, we have three syllables, right? We have con, we have that, and we have the other. Consonant. I know the majority of us say consa, sa. Then we are going to discover why some people say sa and why some people say o, consonant. So look, in the word consonant, you have O between two consonants. You have A between two consonants, and you have the O alone. So that's why many people say consonant. When you say it fast, you don't notice that you're saying O because you have many syllables together. That's why you say consonant, and people don't notice it. But if you go syllable by syllable, slow, you will notice the difference, right? I'm telling you this because we are studying phonetics. So one thing is when you go step by step, and the other is when you are speaking fast. But because when we're speaking fast in a normal pace, there's some certain pronunciations that you don't notice them. And we are going to see that in the next chapters. All right, now, remember that we talk about the long vowel rule number 1, and it says that when you have two vowels together in the same syllable or in the same word, the first one has a long sound and the second one is mute. Well, I have to tell you that there are some words that don't follow that rule. But I have good news for you. From the whole amount of words that we have in English, only 1% of words don't follow the long vowel rule number 1, which means that only 1% of words in English have vowel digraph. What is a vowel digraph? Well, easy. Are words that don't follow the long vowel rule number 1. And let's see this. Let's see it here. Okay. If you notice, the first word is book, right? We have book. And book, we have two vowels together, but they don't follow the rule in the pronunciation. Because if you apply the long vowel rule number 1 that says that the first one has a long sound and the second one doesn't sound, then you will say book. But you don't say book, you say book, ooh, right? So it doesn't follow the rule. Look at the second one. If you apply the long vowel rule number 1, you're going to make a mistake because you have E and A together. If you apply the long vowel rule number 1, you will say breed and not bread. You know what you eat in the morning normally with coffee and milk? Bread. So this one doesn't follow the rule either. But what about this one? That one. Look, that word. Many people say auto. That's not auto. A-U doesn't exist in English. This is O, auto, auto. If you apply the long vowel rule number 1, you will make a mistake in that word because you will say auto, because the second one wouldn't sound in the long vowel rule number 1, right? The second one. So you will say auto, but in real language, you don't say that. You say auto because these words are vowel digraph, words that don't follow the long vowel rule number 1. And you're going to tell me, how am I going to know which word has vowel digraph or long vowel rule number 1? That is crazy, right? Okay, I have the answer for you. Number 1, if you're not sure if the word has vowel digraph or long vowel rule number 1, always go with the long vowel rule number 1. Always, it doesn't matter because it's only 1% of words that follow the vowel digraph. The 99% of words follow the long vowel rule number 1. So don't go for the vowel digraph. Go for the long vowel rule number 1, although you make a mistake. So you have more chances, you have less chances to make a mistake if you apply the long vowel rule number 1 to all the words that you might that you don't know. But that is the first reason. The second reason is you know many words in English and you say them, you know, you say them, and when you say them, you don't think about how you write it, right? But if you take the word and you see it written and you know the pronunciation, you know it because you need to know, look, none of the words that you know in English, none of them, like you didn't invent any of them. You copy the words from people. You copy the words from your teacher, from your friends, from television, from the radio, but you didn't invent it. I mean, you didn't invent any word. So which means that when you see a word, you need to know the pronunciation of it. Like you're not gonna invent the sound. You need to listen to it first, and then you will say, okay, this one follows the vowel digraph, and this one follows the long vowel rule number 1. You know? So don't go crazy with that. I'm not going to ask you like, okay, here you have 10 words. Say which one is vowel digraph and say which one is long vowel rule number 1, because it is impossible to know. You need to listen to the word. This is phonetics. All right, now that's it. That's it, you see. Thank you for paying attention. Now I'm going to let you ask any question if you have a question so far, so we can finish the meeting. Remember, this was a review from the first material that I uploaded to the platform. The next week, what we are going to do is we're going to do questions and answers from the one that you are working on now, which is the chapter 1 and 2 from the book. So this is what we're gonna do. Like, I'm gonna give you an assignment, I'm gonna give you a lesson, and in the following week, we're going to refresh and answer any questions. Let me know if you have a question now before we If you have a question and you don't want to ask, what you can do, okay, Milagro, I will give you the chance. If you have questions like during the week or while you're studying, you can go back to the video that I'm gonna post it on YouTube, and you'll be able to revise. Milagro, you wanna say something?
Yes. Teacher, I have a question because I am confused.
Uh-huh.
In power, why sometimes W is a power?
Hold on. Give me a second here. When W is a vowel.
Yes.
That's what you mean, right?
Yes.
This is a homework that I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna give you one. Yes, that's a homework for you. Because we know that Y becomes a vowel in many places in words, but it's very strange. It's very strange to have W as a vowel, right? I will give you one word. I'm going to give you one word. I'll do it here on the whiteboard. Okay. Spotlight eraser format text. I will give you this word. You see that word? I don't know if you see it. Hmm? Did you see the word? That we pronounce that word O, right? So basically, if you apply, if you see that this is only one vowel, right? If you apply the short vowel rule, you will say ow. But the right pronunciation for this is O, which means that has a long sound. You know why? Because W is working there as a vowel, which means that you have two vowels together. The first one does the sound and the second one is mute. That is one example how W is a vowel sometimes in words. Did you get that, Milagros?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Yeah. And owl is a bird, like a lechuza. I don't know if you know that. That's a type of bird. Right. Well, so we'll finish the meeting now. If you have questions, you can ask through WhatsApp, or you can also do it on the group or in the platform. It doesn't matter. You can do it anyways. So I will see you later, and take care. All right.